Howdy y'all.
Hi guys.
It's Ryan.
And Angela. Hold on. Oh, I went lower. Hold on.
That's the wrong direction.
There. That's better. Now I feel like a hobbit. Okay.
From RNA Music.
That's right.
Your favorite mom and pop music lesson studio and guitar shop.
Mm-hmm.
Deep in Heart, Texas. She's like, It's not their favorite. It's like their 47 favorite. Quasi favorite. Mm-hmm. And we're here to answer your questions for another episode of Ask RNA. This is where we answer questions that people ask.
Yeah.
Us.
I know.
Let's go. So much traffic outside.
I know.
I'm gonna try to edit this audio in GarageBand or Logic when
Yeah.
One of these days we'll have a pro studio setup thing when we're not so busy
doing all the things
with everything. All right, welcome back. Yeah, Angela and I own a little music studio, lesson studio where we teach lessons.
We do
to people.
Mm-hmm.
Just people. Not animals.
Not turtles.
Not turtles. Not dogs. Not aliens.
Frogs.
No,
Yes.
not xenomorphs.
Mm-hmm.
Just people. And we also sell guitars and stuff and things.
Yes.
And we shoot YouTube videos. And this is one of those videos. And we're going to answer questions. What we do? Ask RNA. Episode number 363. So around 363 of these. Go watch your life away from the last episodes. And if you want some swaggy swag, you cannot buy a Texas shirt from us yet. But you can buy an RNA Music t-shirt like she's not wearing. And a link down in the description.
Or
go down.
you.
Go. I'm not wearing one. I know. I showed it. I know.
Okay.
But
In the link down below. Yes.
you can support small business. If you're a fan of supporting small businesses, go down and buy a t-shirt. That's a great way to help support the channel. If you like what we do. Anyways, all right, let's get to it. First question, Leo Go Live. My 13-year-old daughter and I love to watch fails. Love watching people fail. What is the worst or most embarrassing fail you can remember happening to you or someone you know? Hashtag Kala. Oh, man. Angela, what's the worst or most embarrassing fail you can remember?
Oh, I don't know.
Happening to you or someone you know, like your sisters.
Oh, no, I don't have any fails, but I don't know. I don't fail that often, so.
Angela's not a failure.
Okay, hey, I have one from high school, yes. So we had a tornado warning, and then it turned into just a tornado, what's it called? Watch. And so our band director and drill team people were like, we're not doing it. We're not going to perform it. It was during football season. And we were supposed to perform at halftime, and the band director called it. He was like, no, we're not doing that. But the football team and the UIL people that do the football part of it, we're like, we're still going because this other team drove in. They're here. Let's just go as far as we can, and we'll keep an eye on everything. So we had to do the beginning lineup because the drill team lines up on either side of the end zone. The football players run out. Okay, so, and I'm sure you've seen that high school football. Even some NFL teams do that too. So, or most NFL teams do that. So, anyways, so we were. Since my drill team director didn't show and our band director didn't show, there wasn't anyone to lead us out traditionally to the field. So we had to go the long way around. Well, because once the way the football players came through, so to get on the field. And then whenever they ran through the field, it was time for us to get off. Well, we didn't have a director to open up, and any managers. There was only like, out of a group of like 20 some odd girls, there was only like 10 of us or 12 of us. And we were like, how do we get off the field? Because all the gates that would normally be opened and were not. So we were like trapped on the
How did we get off the field?
On the field. All the normal gates that we normally go through that other people opened up for us were closed. And we couldn't go back through the other way because that was closed too.
Were they locked? You couldn't.
Yeah, no, they were locked.
No,
it was like a locked gate. Like no one was there pre-game because they were like, I'm not showing up to a tornado game. And so we were like going to our gate and we're like, how, we were talking to people and of course the game's going. Like the game started. It is already going. And we're like, what do we do? We're on the sidelines just like, what do we do? So one of the parents was over there. They're like, the drill team's like stuck in the field. And they were like, just climb over. Just climb over the fence. So we did. So we start climbing over the fence. And what we don't realize is that the fence where it stops at the top was so sharp at the top. Girls were getting their legs hung on the fence and our pantyhose. And some of the girls were like hanging up on that and be dangling by their pantyhose. And we were like by the time we were done, like all of our pantyhose were ripped. Of course, our parents are coming down there. They were like, oh my gosh, this is insane.
This is a major fail.
A major fail. It was the most embarrassing thing because we're like trying to hike each other's legs because it was like a 10-foot fence. It wasn't like a 6-foot low fence.
How did the team get on the field?
They came through the field house, but they wouldn't let us go back because it's the end zone. They were playing. Oh. We can't just stand in the end zone
but
and be like.
But they made y'all come to the game?
Yes, I know. The worst. I mean, it was like.
Heads rolled later, right?
Oh my gosh. Parents were like livid, just explosive livid. Yeah, it was crazy. So there you go.
I don't think you've ever told me that story.
Yeah. I tend to forget it because it was so embarrassing. Because I was captain. And so I'm sitting there trying to tell these girls, I'm like, I don't know. I don't know what to do. And some of the other parents, they weren't our parents. Some other parents were like, just come over the fence. Just
come over the fence.
We're like, okay.
Just climb this giant fence,
I don't know if
girls.
you know, like drill team, like we have boots. We don't have like tennis shoes that we're wearing. We're wearing boots and the boots are slick. They don't have traction. Because you're supposed to be able to spin. They're dance shoes.
Right.
So we're trying to put these slick boots inside of these, in the notches of the chain link fence. And our boots are slipping and we're trying to get our legs over and our boot, oh my gosh. It was just the worst. It was the worst moment.
I'm glad that was in your childhood and not since we've been together.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, I have a few. Everything that my failures, it revolves around drill team. It just revolves around drill team.
Embarrassing, right?
Yes, just embarrassing fail. Just so embarrassing.
I rarely ever fail, so it's like I'm trying to think of something. I'm trying to
I know.
What's
like,
something that
was like
that happened to me?
And that wasn't even me doing the failing.
Right.
It was like we were set up to fail, basically.
Right. The situation was a failure.
Yes, the situation was a definite failure. So
I'm trying to think, do any of my friends, is there something really embarrassing about the bitter bass man I can share?
You're not going to share anybody else's information but your own.
He asked for anybody else. That would be kind of mean.
Yeah.
I don't think I know one thing.
That includes you?
Sort of.
And then don't share it. It has nothing to do with you.
The only thing I could think of, and I'm like, I don't know if it's embarrassing because there was nobody there. It was just me. Mm-hmm. But I'll tell the story anyway. So I was a kid growing up on the ranch in East Texas. When I was a kid, when you were a kid, in the early 80s, pre-internet, like 7,000 years ago, we used to ride our bikes everywhere, like before video games. Mm-hmm. This is before Atari. Ooh. Before video games. There was nothing to do.
An Atari.
Yeah, so you go out in the woods and you chop down trees with a hatchet, or you ride your bike everywhere.
Right.
So we used to, I made some ramps. And I would ride my bike.
That should be fun.
And you're like, just like get a couple of 2x6s or 2x4s. Of course. Get a sheet of plywood, nail the plywood to make you a little Dukes of Hazzard ramp or an 18 ramp. And so I'm riding my bike. Woo! Jump. Woo! Like I was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
It was rad, like the movie Rad. And then at the end of the season, or during the wintertime, you put the ramps up on the wood pile.
Yeah.
Because that's where the wood is. And then you pull them back out. When summertime, it's like, oh, it's summertime again. It's warm. Let's get the ramp out. It's been out in the weather all season long, so Get the ramp out on the driveway, this long driveway. I'm like, all right, let's go. I'm like, ah. Going up the ramp, snap. The ramp snaps, and my front tire hits the block for the ramp, and I would like literally flipped my bicycle over.
Tony Hawked that thing.
I did, and landed like flat on my face, like not on my face.
I feel that in my body.
But on, hit the ground, like belly flop on the pavement. Knock the air out of you, and my bike like hits me in the back. So I flip, and I'm like, you can't yell because like you knock the air out of your lungs. Yes. I'm like, Of course, there was no one around. I think my sisters might have been in the house.
Probably.
A dog or a cat probably came over and started licking on me. Like,
yeah, they're like, is he dead? Can I eat this?
And it was like, yeah, it was pretty like, did I just do that? I could have died. I nearly killed myself in an Evel Knievel accident.
Yeah.
No one saw it, so it wasn't like, I mean, if it had been on video, that would have been really funny.
Yeah.
I mean, now.
Right.
At the time, it was like, am I dead? I'm going to Jesus. So that was like, I think, that was a pretty epic fail, I think. Yeah. Epic ramp, dirt bike ramp fail. So
there you go.
That was the only one I could think of, because luckily no one was watching, so it wasn't really embarrassing. It was just painful.
Right.
So yeah, there you go. Hey, you guys and girls.
Personal embarrassment.
Yeah, you guys and girls care to share any personal fails in your life that you were embarrassed by? Put it down below so the entire world can read it.
Leo Live likes.
Leo go live, and his 13-year-old daughter can't wait to read about everybody's fails.
Yes, I wish we had it on camera. I'm sure I probably have mine on camera somewhere. Someone has a video of us exiting the field and getting hung up on the...
Most of the time, I'm super awesome. So, it's tough.
Yes.
Thank you for the question, Leo Go Live. Next question, Matt Hodges. Matt Hodges, the return of Matt. It's been a while, Matt. Hashtag Kala, hashtag RNA. Hey guys, long time, no comment. My question is, if you lost the YouTube channel for some reason, would you try to recover it, or would you just say, oh well, and not try to recover the channel? Thanks. That's a really good question, Matt. I would try to recover it.
Yeah, that's a lot of work.
Yeah, that's a lot of years. I mean, we've been doing this for years.
Yeah.
Decade.
Yeah.
And yeah, I would definitely try to recover it. I know that this happens from time to time. Something happens and some people get their channels hacked, or something happens, it gets taken down. Yeah. A lot of time your recourse isn't very good, because there's a toll-free number. You can call somebody at YouTube and go, hey, my channel, something happened. Can you look into it? It's like a million hula hoops you have to jump through to get somebody to go, get a human to go look at it and go, oh, let's check it out. Like, oh, that was a mistake. Let's reinstate their channels.
Right.
I would definitely spend a lot of effort trying to get it reinstated. I would not, I mean, I probably would start over from scratch if I had to, but I wouldn't really want to.
Yeah.
That's a great question, man.
Yeah.
I would definitely try to get it recovered. That's what we would do. Thank you for the question. Next question, Walking Dead 1369, hashtag Kala, hashtag tune that uke. I know I've been absent for a minute, but with all the comments, I'm back. So Ryan, you're on the road and have a gig, but your amp is giving you major issues. You have $500 to spare to get a replacement, and the local shop magically has everything in stock. Fantasy World.
Nice.
What would you choose? What do you choose? Could be a combo or a head/cab set, as long as it comes in the price range. Woo!
It's nice. I like the whole scenario thing. That's cool.
Yeah, he uses
like
a story. And that's how you get good at YouTube. You tell a story. Like I told a story about eating dirt.
Yes.
Crashing my bicycle. And your story of getting caught on a fence. Hanging upside down.
At a football game. In front of spectators.
In front of everybody. Story time, y'all. Story time. Everybody loves a story. All right, so I'm on the road with Awkward Pause.
Yep.
We're gigging. Our amazing abstract pop punk thing.
Yeah.
I had to go do some research Walking Dead. I mean, very short research while I was typing this up.
Right.
I was like, what kind of amp can you get for $500? So I had to go, I looked at Guitar Center.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I looked at the Evil Empire, and I also looked at Sweetwater, which is so sweet. I like guitar amps, price tag, $300 to $500, range, sort, highest to lowest. So it started right with the $500 amps, moved down.
Right.
Man, there's not a lot to choose from, honestly, in that 500 and under price range. Yeah. Not for gigs. Not like you're going to go play a gig somewhere.
Right.
There is really not a lot to choose from. Mm-hmm. It depends on the gig. Like, you know, we have a video on this channel. Mm-hmm. This very channel, it's amazing. You should go watch it. It's really Can You Gig a Micro Terror? Can you gig it? Yeah, and it's at a Warefoot show at Clicks in Tyler, and they actually use a little Micro Terror on a 4x12 cab at that gig. That video has quite a few views, I'm proud to say. Nice. I wish Warefoot would finish an album or do something. I don't know. But at that gig, I mean, it's kind of unfair because they're running everything through the house PA system. In most larger gigs, you're not really going just off of your amp sound. They're running it through the PA, running it through the monitors. Right. So you could use something smaller, but some gigs, you can't do that, and you do need the power. So it needs you need some power. So there was limited choices, man. I even looked at used because you said the store magically has everything, and I thought, well, magically they have every used guitar amp in the world. Even then, there wasn't a lot of good options. So long story short, I decided on a Line 6 Catalyst 200 2x12. 200 watts of pure Line 6 power. Fluff would approve. And a 2x12. 2x12. I do prefer a 2x12 over a 1x12 if I can get it. I would prefer a tube amp over a solid state amp every single time, but there are really no tube amp combos in that range. There's some Fender, a couple like smaller Fender things, but I'm like, I have a feeling that wouldn't get the job done for the music I would be gigging. Right. So, Line 6 Catalyst 200 2x12. And that was an interesting rabbit trail, Walking Dead. So, even in the used, I thought, well, I bet I could find some Jet City stuff, because no, couldn't find a Jet City. I could find a head. There's a lot of heads I would have chosen that were like in the $380, $400 price range. But that only left us $100 to get a cab, and it was not doable. So, you guys and girls, tell us down below, if you only had $500 to replace an amp on the road, what would you do? Bring on the Line 6 hate. I was hunting for a Black Star because we have some Black Star amps here that we use, and I gotta say,
I yawned.
They're all.
Sorry.
They're all right. They're all right. Okay. Thank you, Walking Dead. You guys and girls, tell us below. $500 amp. What do you go with? Comment right now. Next question. Brian Strasser. Although I think this went off the rails a bit, Neil Diamond for me. Please don't hurt me, Angela. There was a band named 98 Degrees in the Shade in the mid-70s. Ryan, do you think you will overcome your fear of sharks? Hashtag John Wick. Would you rather have a custom top dollar guitar or a mid-level guitar you could modify to your taste? Hashtag Kala. Will I overcome my fear of sharks? I feel like I've done that.
Yeah.
I ran out into the Atlantic Ocean.
Yes.
Stared shark death in the face.
Directly in the face.
Taunted them. Waited to get bitten. Came back inside.
Eaten.
Yeah.
Eaten.
So, yeah, I'm pretty sure I've overcome it. Because I've been in the water with sharks. Basically.
Yeah.
For a good, 3 hours waiting, so. Yeah. Do you agree?
Sure.
Okay.
I agree.
Would you rather have a custom top dollar guitar or a mid-level guitar you can modify to your taste? Hashtag call it. That's a pretty good question, but I'm probably gonna go with a custom top dollar guitar because I already have quite a few mid-level guitars that I could modify if I want to. But I only have one custom shop guitar. I should have brought it. Dang it.
Dang it.
It would have been a perfect background for this video. I have one USA custom shop, custom guitar. And I think at this point in my life, it's funny. I would like to have another something kind of like that. Because I have quite a lot of the mid-level stuff. And to be fair, that's what I play 90% of the time is the mid-level Korean guitars, even though I've got some USA stuff. So I always think that's kind of a funny thing that I have several USA guitars, but those aren't the ones that I play all the time.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny. And the one I play all the time, the one I play more than the others is my CMG, which is really the most affordable of the USA guitars I have.
That's true.
So, kind of weird. Which would you rather have, Angela?
Top dollar.
Top dollar. Top dollar. She's a top dollar kind of girl.
More than likely it will be to my specifications and to my taste. So
yeah. Your color that you want, custom paint job.
Yep. Tobacco burst.
Tobacco burst. And now it's time for comment of the day.
Comment of the day.
Yeah.
Comment of the day.
Comment of the day. Angela and I are going to write a song for your listening pleasure right now, right here. You guys write the lyrics. We write the music and the vocal melody.
Or sing the same.
Or sing the same song. I wonder how many episodes do you think we have of comment of the day song?
Oh, I don't know. I would say maybe 20.
I'd have to go. Well, I think it's more.
Really?
I think so.
Okay. Yeah, probably.
I got to go back now and find out.
100?
When did we start doing comment of the day?
Was it last year? This time last year?
I can't tell time anymore.
I can't either.
Stuff that I think happened 8 months ago was like 2.5 years ago.
Yeah, I always think like last year was 2019.
Yeah.
So.
All right, comment of the day. Here we go. I don't know. That was a very. I felt very Ghost Rider-y about that right there. So apparently, Keanu Reeves would love to play Ghost Rider. He'd be a great Ghost Rider.
Yeah.
I mean, he'd be better than The Cage.
Yeah.
I
don't think either one of them would be good.
I didn't like Nicholas Rider.
Nicholas Rider.
Nicholas Rider.
As the ghost.
As the Ghost Cage. You know who I did like as Ghost Rider? The dude they had on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. He did a good job.
Oh, what was his name?
I can't remember.
A Latino guy?
Yes. He did a good job.
Oh.
I would see somebody like that.
He was great.
You know, someone a little bit younger than...
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Rihanna Keeves.
Yeah. I mean, he's in his 50s. He's, pushing 60. So we got it's just a little too much.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because who Ghost Rider is, I mean, he's a stunt devil, like an Evel Knievel type guy, you know. So
one of the guys.
Ghost Rider. You know.
He would be good.
So it'd be like, I think he wants to be Ghost Rider because he was that Evel Knievel character on Toy Story. That's probably
that makes sense.
He was like, oh, that'd be fun.
Now that I've done Toy Story, I could do Ghost Rider. It's basically the same.
It's the same story.
Same dude, basically.
Right.
We got 6 minutes to wrap this up. 2 more
Okay.
questions.
Here we go.
Ghost Rider.
Concise.
Next question. Just Fun Guitar. Hashtag Kala. Hashtag KTMA. I enjoy Rings of Power. She-Hulk is boring.
Yep.
Andor is all right, but not great.
Thank you.
I'm enjoying Wrexham more. I don't know what that is.
Huh.
I don't have a Schecter, but they look great. I have always played Ibanez and liked them. New questions. Do people become more attractive over time? If you found bones of a new extinct Texas species,
That was a wild segue right
what
there.
would you call it? Do people become more attractive over time?
Yes.
Which people?
A lot of people. Most people. I think most people become more attractive over time. Pull up anybody's junior high photo.
Well, yeah, from there, but I mean, like,
I mean, but
let's
that
say
is
let's
over
starting
time.
at like 25 and
Yes.
later.
Depends on if there were no shenanigans. You know, like if you didn't what does Dad say? Rode hard, put up wet.
Yeah.
Like if you weren't, then yeah. If you live a pretty normal life and there's not a lot of hard recreational experiments that put your white blood cells to work, then yeah, I think most people do look better over time. Most. Yeah,
I'm going to say some.
I'm gonna say most.
I'm going to say very few. Like Angela, yes. Even more attractive to me now than when we first met.
Yeah.
Other people, not so much. Like the amount of people from my grade graduating high school, class of 94 represent. I bumped into friends that I hadn't seen in a long time, like at the gas station or in Walmart. I'm like, bro,
Were we in the same grade?
you look rough.
Yeah.
You look
And that's what I'm
Real
saying. That's a
rough.
big difference is how their
Rough.
life played out. If their life
Rough.
didn't play out rough, then they're going to look, you know, life will be good to them. But if you aren't good to life won't be good to you. Which is how it is.
yeah.
Okay. If you found bones of a new extinct Texas species, what would you call it?
Very easily the Texasaurus.
Texasaurus rex. The
Texasaurus
Rex, the
reximus.
Texasaurus.
The Texasaurus.
Mm-hmm.
Easily. That's quite. Yeah.
The Lone Star and Rhinoceros.
The biggest Texasaurus.
Yes.
Texasaurus. Easily. I think that's what you gotta call it.
Okay.
Thank you for the question. Just Fun Guitar. Final question. Yay. Fat philosopher. Fat philosopher. He's always last because he's always first.
Right.
Because I always print these questions from the newest, most recent question to the
the first.
most recent.
Right.
So that means fat philosopher is usually one of the first people to ask a question. So that's something of note, fat
Yes, it
philosopher.
is.
So the first shall be last.
Mm-hmm.
Fat philosopher, hashtag Kala, hashtag broken Gibson headstock. Have you guys tried out any of the ear training apps? What do you recommend for ear training? Angela,
Ah.
you do ear training with your singers, don't you?
Yes, I do. I do a lot of ear training with my singers because they need it.
Right?
Well,
What do
most
you do?
people do.
Yeah, everybody does.
Yeah.
Everybody.
People who actually want to sing and do that.
Yeah.
Do. Mostly just pitch recognition with the piano.
You play notes on the piano, they sing them back to you.
Yes. And then I play what they're actually singing so they can hear how far they are or close they are to the note that they need to get to. And we travel through. We just travel through. Because most people either, are half step up or half step down. It's not too far
Right.
from the pitch.
Aren't
Most
usually
people.
really far away from it.
Correct. And then you have those, lucky few that can hear it.
I was about to ask, I was like, out of all your students, vocal students particularly, on average, what's the percentage that you can hit a note and they can nail that note?
Out of all the students I've ever had,
Yeah.
like percentage-wise,
Yeah.
of all
Like
students,
1%, 50%,
I
10%.
would say about 5%.
Yeah, you can just play a note and they're like, nah.
Yeah.
They just hit it.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, 5 or less % can actually just hit it.
They hear it and they hit it.
And then after that is they hear it, they don't sing it. They hear another note, they don't sing it. They hear another note, they can sing it. So I can find like the range in which their hearing is in, because everybody hears in a range. You know, how I hear your voice is different the way you hear your own voice,
Right.
which is different the way your voice sounds when you hear it out loud,
Yeah.
like coming from a recording. You know, so everybody has an ocular, you know, because the chamber in your ear is different.
Yeah.
So, you know, audible.
He's an ocular, I'm like,
Yeah.
ocular cavity.
Yes.
Phil Hartman, ocular cavity.
Yes. My brain was like, wait.
So anyway.
I gotta see that movie again. Just
been a
for
while.
that scene.
It's been a
Just
while.
for that scene. That's the best. Then the Phil Hartman. Anyway. Oh, Phil.
Oh man.
I hope you're in heaven, sir.
Bonus points if you know the movie we're talking about.
Yeah.
Extra legendary
Bonus points if you know why Phil Hartman is no longer here. That's a story. Tell you what. But yes, that's what I normally do is I find the note and I listen to where they actually hear the note. So then I start in that area. So if like let's say middle C is their ground, the normal ground for everybody, pretty much. Most guys it's at the top range and most girls it's right in the middle. So if I play C and they're singing, you know, D or you know, D sharp or E flat or whatever, then I go like, oh, that's a little high. Well, then if I go up to E and they actually hit it, or they hit F or G, then I'm like, oh, okay, your hearing is a little bit higher in the higher pitch range. So then I start with G and then I work down to C. And then I start playing it that way. So then they usually get it by
Like they can hear certain notes easier than other notes.
Yes. And so I find out what that note is. So if I'm going from C and they're like, ah, I'm like, oh, that's a little high for that note. So I'm like, okay, let's go up to that now. And then if I'm going C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and they hit that B, I'm like, okay, let's start with B. B, A, G, F, E, D, C. And they can hit it. Then they can find it.
I'm like thinking alphabetically backwards. I was like, G, F, E, D, C, B, A. I have to think about that. Nice. How many people, because this is something I think I figured out about myself when I was in oral training classes in college. We had to take ear training classes. That we would go, you know, we'd have to sight read stuff. Like, here's the music, here's the first pitch, sing that line. I was like, oh, Jesus, help me, you know. So I would go practice the notes. I found about myself, I'll play a note, like let's say it's middle C, and I'll try to sing it, and I'll usually sing a fifth above it. Like, I'm singing
normal.
the fifth, or I'm singing the third. I'm like,
Yeah.
or a fourth even, like a perfect fourth. I'm like, my brain thinks I'm singing a C, but I'm actually singing a perfect fourth. I'm like, that's not right. And then I've got to really kind of think and concentrate to sing the note. Is that most people, you think?
Yes.
Most people sing the harmony
Yes.
unintentionally?
All the time. Yes.
Yeah.
For sure. So I go up to that note that they're singing that they can hit, and usually I go up a note. So if they are hitting, like, if that is F for you.
Yeah.
Then if your F is what you hear when you hear C, then I go to G. And usually you can hit G. If I play a G, then you were like, you were like, oh, I can hit that. And it's like, okay, well, it's not too off. Excuse me. And then I go G, F, E, D, C, B, A, B, C, and see if you can come down and then come back up.
That was interesting. 'Cause I didn't know if that was just me or is that everybody or most people.
Yeah.
Which is great because, like, at church when I have to sing backup vocals, I'm not worried about singing the melody line. I'm just like singing whatever I think in my head sounds okay. I'm like, it's probably gonna be the harmony part.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, you know.
And then just rock with it as long as it's not.
as long as it's not horribly pitchy.
Yes.
I can't ever tell because my monitor's not loud enough. so I can't hear myself, but
yes,
it's fine. Whatever.
That would be my recommendation for that.
Yeah, you can do that on guitar. I'll have, you know, because my guitar makers, I, you know, have students. Whoops. You know, students that are going to play and sing together. Like, listen, you can play just take a major scale and match those pitches, right?
So if you're like, if you played the fourth, play the fourth.
There's the fourth.
So if I go, then I go to the fifth. You can probably usually hit that note. And then you go down to that note and you can find it.
Yeah. Now, as far as apps,
That's how it's worked for almost every single person.
Yeah.
You know.
You find the note they're actually singing.
Yes.
If they're not singing the correct note, you find the note they want. They actually are singing and start there.
Or I go close to it, and then I go up a little bit.
Oh, it's like a half step above
Yes.
or below.
Yes.
Yeah. And they can find that.
Yes.
Nice.
It's weird how our brains and ears work.
It is. As far as apps, I don't really use any apps, but I did find a website, musictheory.net. I had to go look it up. Musictheory.net is free, and they have like exercises. And they have little things you can do. It have, you know, it's interval training. It'll play an interval, and you've got to name it. Or, you know, it'll give you a note, and it'll tell you to play. You pick the interval, and it's a cool little like theory thing, which most people, guitar players, singers who just want to sing pop, rock, blues, gospel songs, karaoke, bass players, you know, unless you're like classically trained. And even then, a lot of piano students are like, what's this interval? And I'm like, what's an interval? I'm like, we talked about it like way back 2 books ago. A second, third, fifth, fourth, seventh. They're like, oh yeah, you know.
Oh, I know.
So I'm like, listen, oh my gosh, it's the basics, basic stuff, right? But musictheory.net, go check that out. There's a lot of cool exercises on there. There's a lot of information. Everything I found there was free. I've gone through that. Some of my students, where we're trying to work on intervals, particularly minor second, major sixth. Like, what does this look like on paper? What does it sound like?
Yes.
You know, can you find that stuff? So it's a really good resource. It's completely free, and that's the only one I've ever used. Or I'll do what Angela does. Like, I'll play my piano students. I'll play an interval on the piano where they can't see it. I'm like, what was that? Yes, it was a major second. Amazing. How about that? At Benjamin and Katie, her little brother and sister, taking piano lessons. They were both really good at guessing the intervals. I mean, you're educated guessing, but I would play a major third. And they'd be like, third. Or I would play it. I'd play the first note and another note, and I'd have them. I'd show them the first note I played, and I'd play the other note, and they could usually do it. It's pretty good.
That's awesome.
That was fun. We made
Smart
a game out of it. We made a game out of it, and they're like, "Give me another one." Like we gamified it. So, all right, that was the final question. Thank you guys so much. Appreciate it. If you have a question for next week, leave it down in the comment section of this video, and we'll try to answer it. You know, the first will be last. First person to ask a question, it's going to be the last question. And the last person to ask a question will be first.
This person.
Yeah. So that's just a question for next week. We're trying to answer that. Episode 364. I need to go figure out if we're actually on episode 364 or not, because we're coming up on episode 365 of Ask RNA. That's pretty crazy. You could watch one a day for a year. That's an insane amount of Ask RNA videos. So
It really is.
I'm going to do
We
that.
only do them once a week.
I'm going to do.
And then there's times when we don't do them, and we still.
There have been a couple of weeks. We might have missed a week here and there.
Yeah.
All right, check it out. If you watch this entire video, all 37 million minutes of it, from beginning to end, you're super special.
Yeah, you is.
And you're an epic legend. And we have a little game, secret hashtag of the day. Now don't cheat, don't be a liar. Be honest. if you watch this whole video, secret hashtag today, type it with your question or your comment for next week, and we'll know. All the other epic
You'll
legend
know,
people
and
will
I'll
know.
and we'll know.
Everybody will know. It helps the algorithm for us,
That's
right?
right.
But listen, secret hashtag today is hashtag
Rexosaurus.
Rexosaurus?
Yeah. You don't know what you said? Texosaurus.
Texosaurus. Hashtag Texosaurus.
My bad.
Rexosaurus Rex.
In his ocular cavity.
Texosaurus ocular cavities. And we'll know that you watched this entire video. And so will all the other really, really cool people.
Phil Hartman.
Hashtag Phil Hartman.
Mhm.
Hashtag prison guard.
Hashtag the movie he was in that we're referring to. Not what I just said, but actually put that
Oh,
actual movie
yeah.
next to the hashtag.
Then you're super legendary. Oh, man. Get extra level, higher level hashtags, Angela. That's a new game we're going to play. All right. Thank you guys so much. Leave those questions and comments down below. Go get you a t-shirt.
Yeah.
If we do a premiere, I've been trying to do live premieres of these videos, so I'll schedule them and it'll go live. It's pre-recorded, obviously, but
Lord.
I'll be in the little chitty chat answering questions live
Sometimes
in
I
the
will,
chat.
sometimes I will not.
Sometimes Angela's in
Depends on if I
there
have to
too.
work.
Or if you're doing something else.
Yeah. I mean, you know, work stuff at home.
Right.
I'm crocheting. I'm too busy crocheting.
If you want to really support us, if we end up doing a little... Dang.
That was a Texosaurus.
That's the sound of a Texosaurus. Once thought extinct. Extinct. Anyways, if we do, you know, one of those things, you can always do a little, what do they call it? The Texosaurus has gas.
He showed us.
Lots of gas.
Lots of gas.
A super chat. Yeah, super chat.
Mm-hmm.
We've had a few of those happen. Some every now and then.
And
It's
we
like,
thank you.
I'm like, oh my gosh, look at that.
Thank
Or
you
get
so
your t-shirt,
much.
whichever one. Whatever, it's all good.
Mm-hmm.
All right, thank you guys so much. See you in the next video. Until then, keep the music alive.
Don't forget it.
The music needs you.
And you need the music.
And we need to keep it alive. For the next generation of Texosauruses.
That's right.
We're gonna clone them.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna find them in amber and get their
Yes.
blood and recreate the Texosaurus.
I had an idea for a t-shirt.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. I think I want to get Jessica Lara to draw it.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm. Because she could totally do it.
Could she?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll tell you about it later.
Secret t-shirt idea.
It's gonna be good.
It probably will.
Yeah.
All right. See you guys next time.
Bye. We don't do any copyright infringements. Copyright.
Copy wrong, girl. Copy wrong.
Oh goodness.
Ocular cat.